Video journal entry 37, September 14th, 2025. This week has been a week. It's been a week. I spent all day yesterday working on my ceramic piece that I mentioned before that I was working on. The Men Behind the Monsters. Tell me why I was almost finished with the body of the piece, of the sculptural parts of the piece. And I was working on it hours yesterday. I ate dinner, I wrapped it up, ate dinner, took Gigi for a walk, came back in. It fell apart. That shit back there broke down over there. I'm blue. I'm so blue. It don't feel good, but at the same time, I'm not too mad because, to be honest, the direction of it didn't really have the impact that I wanted to have. It was a nice, fun project to do, but I'm going to start over with a different approach. It's going to look completely different than what I started with. It's going to be a different form. It's going to be something different. So I guess it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm blue because at least would have liked to have. I was going to redo it anyway because, like I said, it didn't have the impact, but I at least wanted to have that finished project of what I'm working on. But I guess I'm saving clay, I guess. I finally posted the summer recap video. I've been sitting on that and low-key trying to piece that together. And I finally got it finished. I'm happy it posted, which I'm happy about. I think it was another one of those videos where I was thinking about different ways about editing. I was thinking about what I could add, and sometimes especially with because of my travel vlogs I would edit, and I would base it in chronological order. And I don't know, I have these weird quirks about me where I have tunnel vision, and I get in line of doing something a certain way that I just, for some reason, it feels weird to shift out of it. I think even for example with these video journals, for some reason I've locked myself into mostly doing them here in the room at a certain time. I've just fallen into the habit of doing that. I feel with editing as well sometimes, especially with my travel videos, because I want to show people the things as they happen. I get stuck in this chronological order. But this time around, even though I was doing the summer recap, I was starting off with that chronological order way, but then I was no, and I try to break my mind out of that thinking and kind of piece the videos together as it told the specific story that the summer actually outlined. So I'm happy I got that finished. On another note, I have been so deeply just this week with what happened with who. If you're in the States, even if you're not in the States, you understand, but with what happened with a certain commentator, I have been so deeply disturbed by the response from that it's it just, the way people have gone out of their way to make some type of a martyr, and even worse, people are trying to equate that person to godliness because for no real reason, right? For no real reason. That is just this person they chose a specific route of life that they chose. They made a career out of bigotry and hatefulness and controversy. And because that person is gone, this is sad what happened. Because of that, people just rewrote them. And I made a video about this on my TikTok, but it's the way I'm seeing how people really are, bro. People would have, now that I'm seeing it today, people would have been excusing Hitler. I kid you not, that's what it's really looking like. If we were today, because Hitler didn't just get into power for no reason. He was a charismatic person. He studied speech. He had a cadence of speech, very intentional speech, to incite people in certain ways to get the support that he did, right? And it's not to say this person was this exact equate at the time of what he has, but it's speech is so important. Speech, and people are, I feel because of our illiteracy problem that we have here in this country, people are forgetting how powerful words are. And I talk about this in my video on TikTok, but people forget how powerful words are, and people don't have the slightest clue the type of mixing and minglings that really take place to instill such big things that affect our lives, right? Legislations and things that affect our lives. They don't understand the depths of lobbying, the depth of network. They don't understand all that. They say oh, he was just a commentator. He was just this. He just had opinions. First of all, human rights are not debate opinions. That's insane to me. But alas, even if it's just opinions go so far. Like, words are nothing to play about. And I've talked about this multiple times on my channel in different ways. Words are nothing to play about. And if you really look at it, that man sealed his fate through his words. Like, that's how powerful words are. But it's like, it's just so crazy to see these reactions. Because I remember Trayvon Martin. I remember all these situations that have happened. Was it Breonna Taylor? And I think was it Eric, another name, about the young boy in Colorado. I remember these things. I cried when what happened with Trayvon Martin, bro. That thing, I cried. I had brothers, right? And I cried. And the what people celebritized that man that did that to that young kid. The way people raised almost $1 million for a woman who called a little kid an N-word for like whatever reason. And then now today, when somebody has lived an intentional life of bigotry and hatred, they want to equate this person to God and all this other stuff. And where was that? And everybody said have empathy. Where was the empathy with all these other people? Where was empathy then? Like, that literally, to be honest with you, that I just had to sit with that for some days to watch how people responded. And it really shows you, and I swear, like, I'm really, this year and these months since the man came in office, I've been really becoming hardened as a person, seeing people's nature around me in like this country, because it's really insane to see. It really is. And like, I really was the type of person that like wants to hear everybody's perspective, wants to understand, wants community with people around the world. But like the way people are playing things out, the way human nature plays out, like it just hardens you in a way that I don't want to be hardened. But like, it just cannot be helped, because people really are showing their colors. People who you would think are like allies and things like that, they play on both sides, because in one spectrum, they're like, oh, I'm not like this, I'm not like these people, I'm not racist, I'm not da-da-da-da. But they have empathy for racists because they're in community and in peers and in family with these people. So they'll really not care about what happens to you so long as they keep empathy with their whatever it is that they have in their presence, in their communities. And it's really insane. And watching that, like, seeing how this all unfolded really made me think in my head, like, I cannot live in this country, bro. I cannot settle down in this country. And like, I know I've always wanted to like travel and see the world and things like that. And I knew that Chicago, I love Chicago, but I just kind of felt like after I like traveled different places and experienced different ways of living, I kind of knew that it may not be the place for me that I want to stay permanently. But like, the way I'm seeing this stuff play out, it's like I gotta leave America. And it's like, it's not even on no like trying to escape fascism type stuff, because if fascism pops up in the States, it's cutting up everywhere. Like, not everywhere, but like a lot of places are about to be following that same route, and a lot of places are following that route anyway. Like, we are heading towards like the way the pendulum shifts is really crazy. I saw a video that outlined the pretenses to World War II. So freaking uncanny to what's happening today. And this, sometime in the spring, I like was looking into like fascism and Mussolini and like seeing how that rise, and seeing that was just so uncanny of what a Cheeto Puff was really doing. But like seeing that World War II thing like was very uncanny on like, what's it? Is it neopolitical? Is that the right word? Just on a global scale, how things are like coming about, and it's just insane. It's insane to me. But of course, like I'm trying to figure out like how I would live, how I would afford my life, how I would survive. But it's like, I don't know when, I don't know what the time is, but I don't know if I'm gonna like build in the States. Like, I was on the fence about it, things like that. Like, I was thought to myself, like, maybe it'd be nice to start to really understand my home of Chicago and really understand people and and maybe build a pottery business. I was kind of hoping to build like maybe a pottery business and some type of community-based business. But I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I'm really like, yeah, there's that. But yeah, I really feel like we are cooked. We are getting even more and more cooked by the day. And like, I don't even know if we can really recover from it as like a country. Because it's like, you see places in other countries that are like really shaking stuff up. Like, when we saw with Korea, I knew Korea was like happy for them when they impeached their president, but I knew we could never have something like that in the States, because I think the one thing with Korea, at least if people have different views, they're a homogenous country, so everybody is alike, and majority is alike and look like each other. So even if they have all these different views, at the end of the day, they're all Korean and they have their interests at heart. But with the States, it's just not like that at all. Like, even though it's a diverse population, and well, because of the diverse population, people just cannot like, even with that population, with just certain views, like people just cannot get aligned together. And it's not really, I don't think people will ever really get aligned together until things really shake up and affect everybody proportionately. Today, things that happen don't affect everybody proportionally. So it's very easy for people to like it's not me. I think I was talking about this a little bit, just like the things that I think about this summer in my summer recap of like having to really reflect about other people's liveliness and things like that outside of my bubble. But like, people will never understand, like people never look at things unless it directly happens to them. So until things start to really hit hard for people proportionately, every demographic, they will then, before we can like really realize and like move forward. But like, when will that happen? If that will happen, I don't know. And it's sad because I just heard about what happened in Nepal. They're like what's the word? What's the word? Not surveillance, but like this on the tip of my tongue. When censorship. The censorship is really going crazy these days, man. The censorship is really going crazy in this country. But like, what happened with Nepal is like insane. It's hilarious. And it's so insane. They dismantled their government in a week and elected a new like official leader for their country in a week. And they elected their official on a Discord. So funny. And that's so Gen Z, bro. That's so funny. That's so Gen Z. But it's like, I doubt that ever happened here in the States. Like, and I talked about this I think maybe as well. But like, it's so insane. To me, it's been so insane to me. Like, people thought like Gen Z would just be like so da 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 da, but a lot of Gen Z are like becoming like boomers, and it's insane. That's something I started to notice, even like amongst like your peers and things like that, where I was starting to be like, I started getting older, and I was like, people were turning into the bitter ass aunties and uncles, and I'm just like, when the hell did that happen? Like, I would just look up and somebody would say something out the side, like a little, and that sucks, you know, and I'm just like, when did that happen? I thought we was all pushing forward. I thought we was becoming more progressive, but it's like, and that's where words come into play, right? And that's what the things that people consume, what they're hearing, it all comes into play. Like, people don't take it as seriously as they need to take it. That's the thing. Like, when people say it's not that deep, life is that deep. And so many people, I realized something I learned over the years is like, people, there's things you can avoid in life, there's things you can't avoid in life. But so many people get themselves into problems they could avoid because they don't have the critical thinking to understand and read between the lines. They could avoid so many things, but because they don't really pay attention to the meanings and the things that they're observing, the things that they're experiencing, they miss all the signs and they get into messed up problems. And it's just like, it's crazy. It's really crazy to see. But that's where I'm at this week. This week, I regret to say that I am not above the middle ground. I've been like hanging on to like the middle area, but I'm below it. I'm below it. I've also been, I feel like, really disappointed in myself as far as like progress in life. I feel like I keep trying to like battle that and have grace, but like it's so hard. And like, I feel like with the social media stuff, part of me wants to be on social. I like the aspect of sharing things and creating videos, but at the same time, trying to like go along with algorithms and trends and all that stuff, that's not in my personality. And it makes me feel bad that I couldn't like really figure things out with social media in a way that can like help other work that I do and like find success. And it makes me feel bad because it seems like so many people know how to figure this stuff out, but I can't. And that's been something I've been like thinking to myself, like, why can't I figure that out? Like, why have I failed so much at that? And it's like, it's hard to like cope with, especially like, I really, I think I talked about this before, like, the more I try for things, like, it's the harder they run away from me. So maybe I should stop trying for things, but it's like, I really just want to get all the hard stuff out of my life out the way. I want to get the money. I want to amass enough wealth to not have to worry about wealth again. I've talked about that before, but I want to have enough money where I don't even have to worry about money. I want to pay off my house. I want to have minimal bills so I can just ease my mind and be free through life. I'm the type of person, I like delayed gratification. I like to get the hard stuff out the way first so I can sit back, enjoy, and relax. Either whether I'm doing 1,001 things for enjoyment or whether I'm doing a lot of nothing. I want to be able to do nothing and not feel about it because I don't feel like, and not feel bad about it because I'm feeling like, oh, I need to be doing more to get to where I want to be, you know? And it's like making me feel better that I'm like not getting there fast enough. Like, I think, like, I mentioned it a little bit with like my summer recap. Like, I feel this rush, like you need this type of safety net, at least with money, to like keep you a little bit safe in times of turmoil. Even though like they can't keep you safe forever, but they can at least help you a little bit to keep you up and afloat. And it's just like, I wish I had that safety net already so I don't have to be as stressed right now. As times have been more tumultuous and more unstable. I wish I had that like saved in already, that I didn't have to worry so much. But it's like, man, that's what I'm at with it this week. I've been doing the same things, like, right, trying to build my income, trying to figure out a change. I'm trying to look for a part-time work. So, because as I said before, I'm like really wanting to just get out of corporate, and I'm really on the fence of like wanting to just put in my 2 weeks, but like I'm trying to hold steady. I got bills. But what I'm trying to do is, as an alternative, is to maybe get a part-time gig, so like I can like do like a few days on a week, a few days off. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what I've been doing. I've been thinking about like business and products and all this type of stuff, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it this week. See me next week. Bye. Oh, wait. Did I mention about Gigi? I mentioned it last week, but I'm finalizing my adoption with Gigi. I signed the contract. Like, it's really, really getting finalized. Last week, I was like, I was talking about how I was like definitive about my decision. This week, or yesterday, really, I signed the contract. All that's left is to send them, like, the donation whatever for her. And that's it. It's a wrap. But yeah, that's it for me this week. See you next week. Bye.